Hello, hello. I am back with the giant Lego 1989 Batmobile model. But I've already reviewed this one, so in this video instead I'm going to be looking at the little version of the same, the presumably minifig compatible version of it. This is the limited edition version that was released as a gift with purchase. So a little freebie promotional thing that came out in conjunction with the large model, basically to encourage people to buy the large model as quickly as they could before this, artificially ran out of stock because they didn't make enough because Lego believes in artificial rarity. Let's take a closer look. Please tell me I'm not the only person who finds it particularly endearing that Lego made a little platform, a little stand, complete with a plaque and everything for the little version, just like they did for the big one. It makes this into not only just a smaller scale model of the 1989 Batmobile, but in fact, a small scale replica of the bigger model. It just puts it into that kind of world. But this just pops right off the stand, which is a simple thing. It does have the ability to rotate the model around. The plaque just has a single large sticker there, which is no big deal. It's mostly on one piece for that ramp there. So again, let's just mostly focus on what we're here to talk about. At first glance, you immediately recognize what this is supposed to be. So at first glance, it's successful to me. On second glance, to me, I am bothered almost immediately by the gray color of the trash cans that they use on the side for those giant inlets. I'm supposed to be talking about, the whole model and everything right now, but I just can't not see those things first. They just stick out so much, and I'm definitely biased knowing what those are supposed to represent. It makes them look even more out of place. I think the shape is really good. It's just a shame that Lego does not have those parts available in a black. I think if those parts had been able to be released in a black color, which I think would have been probably brand new for this set, it would have been fantastic, but that just wasn't an available option, obviously. I like the overall shaping of this. It doesn't have quite the futuristic flow to it that I would like to see. This one almost feels a little bit more in the nose and along the engine cover, I guess, here in the front, almost more like the Batman, the animated series version. Just, it's a little bit more squared off in that sense, a little bit more retro futuristic, perhaps. But other than that, it's pretty good. Oh yeah, got to show you that. That is completely unexpected, and it's just a nice thing that they did. They have a little geared mechanism that causes the flame coming out the back to rotate as you turn the wheels. And this is all together. There's no differential action in here, so if you don't have traction on one of the wheels, it still works out just fine. And this is something that the big model does not have. Actual flame coming out the rear. So that's kind of nice, kind of an upgrade, a little step up. It does have pretty good shaping overall. You can see some of the alternate color coming through the pieces that are built down below. And you'll see one other thing about this that's a little bit funky with its colors used. For the most part, you don't see weird colored stuff as you look around this model, so that's good. Certainly there were many opportunities for them to have yellows and worse, much worse, green and red showing through, but they resisted the urge, thankfully. This one has the stud shooters on top, just showing that the machine guns are always deployed. Of course, you can always just pull those off, and then if you want, you can put just either one of these. I think that might work pretty well. The grill piece in 1x2, and then just a 1x1 tile behind that, or just go ahead and tile off the entire section of it if you just want to show it with the machine guns not deployed. So it actually has pretty good lines. I feel like those stud shooters cheapen the whole thing just a little bit, especially if you're going for more of a collector kind of appearance. You want this to look a little bit more realistic. Just leave those off. It's the beauty of Lego, is the ability to just leave things off entirely. Overall, the shaping of this is very satisfactory to me. A lot of things about this I like. It uses some interesting building techniques. A lot of just plain stacking, but then some studs on the side construction just where needed to add in a little extra shaping, but ultimately it's fairly straightforward to put together. Canopy opens not with a slide, unfortunately. It does hinge open, but I'm okay with it. I think they could have done a sliding action for that in this scale, but maybe just some things got in the way. But inside of there, okay, you see a little bit of Technic brick action. I'm fine with that. That doesn't bother me. A little bit of yellow on the side. I'm even okay with that. A very generic train-centric console piece. At least it's printed, I'll say. So I'm all right with that. And you're able to put a figure inside. But the tan, I don't know about the tan. Makes it look kind of luxurious, you know? It's nice, but it's not accurate. And you do see that tan color from the outside, unfortunately. Especially if there's not a figure that's sitting in there. So I think it would look better with just dark gray. You know, it could be done with all black, but I'm perfectly fine with having some contrasting color in there, or something just to stand out a bit. But overall, you know, the build for this is pretty good. Now, here's another big question. I've talked about putting a minifig in there, and there is only one minifigure that's appropriate to put in the 1989 Batmobile, and that's a 1989 Batman. Will he go in there, though? Of course he won't. Not with that one-piece cowl with the really nice molded cape like that. This is a really cool-looking figure. Obviously the one that comes with the large model that came out at the same time as this, and that you would have been getting with this, or you would have been getting this with. So of course you want to pair these up, but they don't pair. It just doesn't happen. You have to take all of this off to fit them in there, and then it kind of ruins everything, because then it's not really Batman anymore, right? It's Bruce Wayne with a Batman suit, but it's not complete, you know, like a half of one. So yeah, you can put other Batmans in there, just not the right one. That's unfortunate, but there's no way this is going to fit into any minifig scale vehicle unless it's a vehicle that allows them to stand up. So I can't ask for them to really reasonably have done anything better. This just was never going to be a fit. Ultimately, this was a freebie, so there's not much I can reasonably complain about. I can critique design elements and everything, but it was free, and it was truly free, because it's not like I could have bought the big Batmobile model somewhere else other than from Lego directly at a much cheaper price. So I didn't pay an inflated price in order to get the gift with purchase or anything like that. So this is just 100% gift with purchase, and it's, in my opinion, one of the nicer gift with purchases that Lego has ever done. It's something that should not have been a gift with purchase, in my opinion, without also offering it up for direct sale. Perhaps they'll offer it up for the VIP program or something in the future. I guess that's okay, but I mean, yeah, it's supposed to be limited edition. It is a nice box and all. It definitely feels very collectible. I just wish that this could have been put into the hands of more fans, because it's just a great model as it is. Yeah, it has its flaws, to be sure, but it's a really cool thing. It's a reasonable scaled version, you know, model version of a very beloved Hollywood car icon, and I don't know, call me a softie. I just would love to be able to have things in the hands of fans that they want, you know? This easily could have been sold, and I think that would have been nice. You know, it could have offered up something cheaper and maybe a little bit more exclusive, maybe with a single exclusive printed piece in it for the gift with purchase with the launch of the big model. But that's really my biggest complaint, just that more people weren't able to get it who wanted it and will want it on into the future. That's it for my look at this one. I did do a pure build of this and also a speed build of it. So if you want to check out either of those, feel free to. I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.